Remember what it was like when you were 6? Running around, playing games, laughing, eating ice cream, getting hugs, and enjoying life? Well, not all children can say their childhood is like this. Some cower under beds hiding from the monster that beats them every day, or they struggle to find food while their parents are out looking for their next high. These children don't know what to expect in their day-to-day lives. All they want is to be loved, and instead they are met with a coldness that many of us never experience. That is where the knock on the door by the authorities, although frightening at first, can save lives and childhoods. A lot of us take our blessed childhood for granted. We tend to always think that parents will always be there to care and love their children, but that is not always the case. Sometimes the parents need help, or simply counseling, and other times the issue at hand is much more serious and children have to be removed to protect their own lives. That is where the role of the foster parent becomes so vitally important. To explain this, I will share with you my experience as a foster parent for 5 young siblings that are now my adopted children, and how others can get involved and become foster parents. First off, I will give you some information on foster children in Kansas so that you can understand just how important the need really is. So why does the state of Kansas need foster parents? According to the Alliance for Children in Kansas, in August 2012 alone, there were over 6,400 children in the Department of Children and Families, which as some people know as CPS. Where exactly do these children come from? Sometimes parents simply cannot care for their children and neglect can occur, thus leading to the state agency to get involved. Some children are abandoned by their parents, or perhaps their parents die and there are no living relatives to take care of them. However, the majority of the children in the system come from abusive homes and need to be removed immediately for their safety. Well, so why would we pick foster parents over orphanages? Well, long gone are the days of orphanages. Although they do still exist, they call them homes in the States. And now the agencies try not to place children in the homes, but they try to place them in foster homes because foster parents can fulfill the safe, nurturing, and caring environment the children need instead of going to state orphanages. So now you know why foster parents are needed, but how does a person become a foster parent? Foster parents are just not any Joe off the street, but selected and trained individuals, couples, or even families. At a minimum, you have to be 21, but there are many more requirements. For the state of Kansas, in order to foster children, you have to meet the following requirements. You have to be 21 years or older. You must be single, married, or divorced. You must be in good physical and mental condition. You must be financially able to provide not only for your current family, but for additional children that you may add to the foster system. There is a stipend that is provided by the state every month, anywhere from $500 to $3,500 per child based on their needs, physical and mental. But this should not be your basis for being a foster parent. Next, you can contact any agency in Kansas, such as Kansas Children's Service League, Associated Youth Services, Children's Alliance of Kansas, Youthville, DCCA, or TFI Family Services Incorporated to get started and send up your application. Next, you have to enroll in what's called PS MAP, which means Partnership for Safety and Performance, Model Approach to Partnerships and Parenting. This is a class that is a free 30-hour, 10-week course that is not only a course to educate people how to be foster parents, but it is also a selection course for foster families. This course is important because it helps foster parents promote children's safety, permanence placing, and well-being without a biased attitude about the final placement. This is not actually a move towards adoption, it is a move towards fostering. Once you start PS MAP, a Kansas Department of Health and Environment specialist will contact you and an application will be started, and then you will be assigned a social worker who will assist you through the process from here on out. Next, you have to pass a home inspection. While rigorous, it's not impossible to do. Then you have to pass a background check, national and state, for the safety of the children. Then you complete any additional required training, and get yourself prepped for that phone call that can come anytime. Then it's your responsibility to either accept or deny the placement that is given to you. Now you know how to become a foster parent, but what is the experience really about? My experience of foster care is one that spans 2 years in 2 states, but what is really important is how it changes lives. My family fostered a sibling set of 5 that came from an abusive and neglected home, filled with drugs and homelessness. It wasn't easy. We had to learn and cope with and work with the children's lack of trust, their own coping skills that they had developed, and how to redirect them in a healthy manner. There were times that we didn't know how to cope, and we threw up our hands in the air and wanted to give up, but we didn't. The children were so fearful from their last environment, and so it was very hard to stick it out, but we did. Once the children learned that our house was safe and they could trust us, it was as if a light switch was turned on, and they came out of their shells and learned to live again and be themselves. In December of 2012, we were asked if we would like to adopt them. The parents' rights were severed, so we adopted all 5. Though my experience as a foster parent was challenging, and becoming a foster parent is most certainly that, you can make a difference in a child's life that is truly life-changing. Becoming a foster parent does require training, dedication, and the ability to follow rules and deal with several people in your life, but it's all very well much worth it. Remember, you don't have to be perfect to be a foster parent. You just have to care, have patience, and remember that what the goal is for each child and every child you welcome into your home.